hip hop and wrestling.
All right, Monday Night Raw, May 26, 2025, live from Tampa. The fallout from Saturday night's main event. I thought it was a pretty entertaining show, I must say, overall. A lot happened, a lot to cover. So we'll get into the matches in just a moment. But Gold, what was your overall thoughts of last night's Raw?
Oh, I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. Definitely setting up stories and really excited to see like what happens next. The writers, man, the writers are doing a good job, man. Doing a good job like keeping these feuds live and keeping it like natural. You know what I'm saying? It don't seem like anything is like forced. And they're also doing a good job to where you can have multiple different stories as far. Like there's not just one set story. All right, this is where we're going. It's like, damn, they could go this way, they could go that way. It's like, damn, all right, I gotta tune in. I gotta watch Raw. I gotta watch SmackDown. They're doing it to where you want to watch every TV event they have, so you can keep up with what's gonna happen next. And that was that old school like way they had it set up. You watched every show so you can keep up with the story because you never know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, I echo that sentiment. It's like one character will have so many connections or degrees that tie to something else. It's like
Yeah.
I got one person to worry about, but I also got 3 or 4 other people to worry about. I'm Seth
Mhm.
Rollins. I got plans, but I got a few people who keep getting in my way. But at the same time, I got to
Mhm.
mow through these other people. So I like the way that they keep a lot of things connected. I thought storyline wise, this particular episode of Raw was pretty good. And it's getting me excited for whatever SummerSlam is going to be. Like Money in the Bank is really important, but I'm looking forward to King of the Ring, King and Queen of the Ring, and SummerSlam.
Mhm.
Because that's going to set the tone for the later half of the year. But yeah, I echo that same sentiment. It was a pretty good show. And why not we get...
Well, let me tell you something, brother. What you gonna do?
Let's go ahead and get into the first segment, which some people on the internet were complaining about. I didn't really see anything wrong with it, and that was Seth, Braun, and Bronson coming out to the ring with the Wise Man. They all dressed up clean. They got on the shades.
Mhm.
They got the suits. Seth Rollins got the chain and the Versace glasses, just sitting there
Yeah.
chilling. Paul Heyman, he's being Paul Heyman, right? And part of me still thinks Seth is not really a heel.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of like I don't know. Even in like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you know, Thanos, you know what I'm saying? He had a reason behind his madness or whatever. And so I think Seth is kind of like the same thing. You know, he has a reasoning why he's acting the way he's act. Like he thinks the wrestling universe or the WWE universe should be a certain way, but he thinks he's the one to kind of like bring it to that vision. You know what I'm saying? Because he
Yeah,
calls himself a visionary, right?
yeah, yeah. He calls himself the visionary, and he said in his promo, like, I didn't change. I've been this way the entire time, and I told you exactly what I was going to do, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
doing. I guess what explanation was not given, at least not by him specifically, was why this alliance with Bronson Reed. Now,
Exactly.
in my mind, the story that I wrote in my head was like, well, if I'm going to recruit anybody with my expectation to dominate the WWE, I need the most powerful, ruthless, barbaric people on my squad. Like I need to have a championship level terror squad, for a lack of a better word. And why
Yeah.
not? Why not have the person who damn near took me out?
Makes sense.
And Paul Heyman kind of got to that and said, "Hey, Bronson Reed gave Seth one of the worst beatings he ever had in his life." And Seth was just sitting there like, "Yeah, this did whoop my ass."
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
Seth himself did not vocalize why he changed his tune. Now, possibly this could all be just orchestrated by the wise man. I mean, he is the wise man, right? And sometimes you got to put the squad together. So I think the problem was it was a very long segment without not much explanation of the pieces to the puzzle, more just like hyping up what we see in this ring. And when you see this combination of what we got in this ring, it spells trouble. It spells total domination, which is what Seth alluded to a couple times. But he also just said, hey, I'm going to get this damn world championship. This is what has to happen. And I would have gotten it if it wasn't for CM Punk and Sami Zayn interfering in my world title shot against Jey Uso. So now I got to find another way to do it. So what better way to do it except climb this ladder? And I'm going to qualify for Money in the Bank. I'm going to win the briefcase. And then I'm going to take that title off of Jey Uso. So it made sense to me. The fans were still chanting his song. So that's what made me say, is he really a heel? I mean, you got music that's over. People are still going to sing along with you. You know what I mean? But he hasn't necessarily like taken a crap on the fans per se. You kind of called him out to say, hey, you're going to, they were saying F you Rollins or whatever. But that might have been his only line of addressing the crowd itself. But for the most part, he hasn't really like crapped all over the fans yet. At least
called them out about like he just calls them out about
their hypocrisy.
Support. Supporting certain people. He's like, man, this is a person y'all want to support. He left us. He left you, and y'all want to support that?
Yeah, that's valid. That's all.
Never show that. I'm with you.
So, but yeah, I like the way they all looked in the ring collectively. They looked like a dominant force. If Seth's sights are going to be on the world title, possibly Braun or Bronson, they could team up because New Day, they've pretty much beat all there is to beat. But we'll talk about that in just a few. So maybe they can team up and go after the tag titles. Like when I think of a stable saying they want to dominate, in my mind that says we're going to get all the gold. Bloodline did it. The Horsemen did it. Evolution did it. And when you got like a powerful stable that everyone looks like legit, and Braun and Bronson are legit because of all the destruction they have caused. You know what I mean? You can't, Seth Rollins can't all of a sudden just recruit Otis, and say that we're like a force to be reckoned with, because Otis constantly gets geeked out. But Bronson Reed, on the other hand, right? Bronson Reed got selected to be in the War Games, right? Took out Seth with 6 tsunamis. Braun Breaker cut everybody in half with that spear, 2-time IC champ.
Yeah.
And all of this happening under the tutelage and the wisdom of Paul Heyman. Bubba Ray Dudley, he had referred to it as like the new dangerous alliance. And I was like, yeah, I kind of like that name. I mean, at the same time, they were kind of like on this particular segment. I think Bubba Ray was saying it feels kind of forced, but I don't feel that way. I feel like it's a good shift in the dynamic. I think it's a good way to keep us guessing and wonder, like, where are you taking this? Because I don't think none of us predicted that. We thought Seth was going to turn heel, but we did not predict that Paul was going to
start an alliance. Yeah, we didn't predict Paul was going to be like his backup. We didn't predict that he was going to go out and like start an alliance with freaking Braun Breaker, like somebody that was on an up and coming and was a problem. We didn't predict that freaking Bronson Reed was going to join him, bro. So they're definitely hitting us with like some haymakers out of nowhere,
Right. Yeah. The only thing we predicted was that CM Punk was going to be the root cause of his madness, but that's about it. That's pretty much all we predicted. And technically, it still is. CM Punk is the thorn in Seth Rollins' side at this moment, and I'm starting to think that CM Punk might be the reason why Seth does not win the Money in the Bank briefcase. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But other than that, I thought the segment was cool. What did you think about the segment?
I liked it, man. Just story building, storytelling, getting everybody like prepared, man, and kind of like foreshadow what's going to happen or what might happen. You know, just planting that seed to like to get people thinking. You know, we think this is gonna happen, but it's like we don't know if it's gonna happen for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this is this man's plan, but we'll see if it comes into fruition.
Yeah, we really have no idea. And it ties to what you were saying earlier about
Oh,
just so many things that are connected. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
we'll try to connect some of those dots as we get deeper into the card. Let me go ahead and go to the
super
next.
cool. Like it.
Yeah, yeah, I like it a lot too. Let me go to the next slide. All right, so now we had a triple threat qualifier for a spot in the Money in the Bank match, and this
Five
match was
star.
awesome. This match was
5 star.
awesome,
Yo, Dragon Lee must have heard us talking, bro.
bro. I thought the same thing.
He showed the fuck out, bro.
This is probably the best that I have seen of Dragon Lee. And maybe
Me
he's
too.
done better, but this is the one time that I paid attention, and maybe it was just due to the dance partners that he had. But Chad
Yeah.
Gable, granted, he survived death a couple times in this match. The few times he got
Yes.
dropped, dropped on his head. However, he was showing out, throwing people around. You know, Penta's
Yeah.
just, charisma. Penta's Penta.
Mhm.
But these three had an amazing chemistry, and that match was super dope, super fun, with the
Yeah.
exception of, that spot where I thought Chad Gable got kicked and dropped on his head. I was like, "Yo, what just happened right there?"
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, he was getting his ass. I mean, I'm not saying he was getting his ass whooped in the match. It's just like he was taking the brunt of some brutal offense, getting dropped on his head, and then Vikingo kicks him, and now he's busted open and stuff. But I'm looking forward to that match at Worlds Collide. Here's the thing: I thought that possibly once they announced that Chad Gable was going to take on Vikingo at Worlds Collide, I thought, well, maybe if Chad was to win this qualifier, he'll say, "Hey, I can't wrestle both," but he'll do the Money in the Bank as Chad Gable and do Worlds Collide as El Grande
Saying
Americano.
the same thing. Yeah, I was saying the same thing.
That's what I was thinking, which would have been
Yeah.
which would have been entertaining to me.
Mhm.
Now, have you ever seen Vikingo wrestle? I know you saw some of his highlights, but have you looked into any of his other highlights?
No, I just saw a couple highlights, and he looks ridiculous, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looks like he's beyond the problem.
he is a very exciting wrestler. So that matchup should be really good at Worlds Collide. But yeah, Penta in his first Money in the Bank. Do you think Penta has a chance to secure that briefcase?
Maybe. Maybe. It still might be a little too early. Still might be a little too early. They probably build him up a little bit more before he actually gets that. But I don't see no reason him not winning it, you know what I'm saying? And he just holding it for a little while, and they kind of build up a story too. So I can see that happening. But that's a tough one to call. It's a tough one to call. I wouldn't mind it.
I wouldn't mind it either. It'll definitely be something unexpected. I mean, for Penta to
Yeah,
walk
but
around, for him to walk around with that briefcase for however long he wants to walk around with it, that'll be entertaining. But he's had, his IC title shots, which, he came up on the short end of the stick on those. And again, the world title mix right now is pretty busy at the moment. So I don't know, storyline wise, if it makes sense for him to walk around with this briefcase while Seth Rollins and others don't necessarily have a route or the definitive way to get to Jey Uso to get that next shot.
Mhm.
But listen. If they want to stir it up and throw curveballs, I'm all for it. Keep me guessing.
too.
Keep me guessing. But I think with Penta being in the match, at least, he's going to make the match very entertaining because Penta has a history of showing out in ladder matches. So I expect no less from him at this show. So I'm actually happy that he's in it. But shout out to Dragon Lee for showing me something else. I will give him the break room applause. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, like, yo, Dragon Lee's not playing, bro.
Yeah.
He did his thing. He really did his thing in the match.
On a side note, do you watch WWE Speed on Twitter? Yeah, I don't either. I just
Get your ass out of here, Jack Perry.
All right, next up. Rusev practically unalived Akira Tozawa in that match by putting him in the Accolade and then bending him backwards, which looked so brutal. I'm pretty sure like Tozawa was flexible enough to where he was able to withstand it. But to me, I was like, ooh, I feel every bit of pain in this particular hold. And I thought while he was doing the Accolade, I thought to myself, I've never really been a big fan of camel clutch style holds. Like, you know, there was like Steiner, like the Steiner recliner. I really didn't care for that.
Yeah, that was my favorite one, the Steiner recliner, man.
But the Accolade, he really looks like he is hurting you. Or maybe it's just the way that he sits into the small of your back and pulls you backwards, but it's definitely a convincing finish. And we knew that Tozawa had no chance in hell of winning, unless some shenanigans took place. But they're trying to build up Rusev, trying to get him ready for whatever's next. And we have an idea of what next is because Sheamus came out to say, hey, you should pick on somebody your own size. Right. And these two have a history in the past of feuding. But also, do you recall when they were in a group called the League of Nations?
No, I don't remember. I saw like pictures of it though. Like it came up on my feed.
Yeah, so it was Sheamus, Rusev, Wade Barrett, and Alberto Del Rio. And I thought the idea of that stable was pretty cool, but it didn't last long. It was for a cup of coffee, and then Wade Barrett, he left WWE for a while, and they just dissolved the whole crew. But Rusev, since he's coming back, since he's came back, in my mind, I thought he's been very impressive. And really, it's just an extension of the character that he had in AEW as Miro. I like him way better now as this version of Rusev than I did prior to him leaving WWE, you know, however many years ago. But what was your sentiment on this match? And what are your thoughts on Rusev so far? Are you feeling it?
I do like it, man, but I knew this match was going to be something where it was just going to be a slaughter, you know. I hate that Tozawa's a geek. Like, hopefully he gets some shine somehow later, you know, because I don't know. I like Tozawa, you know, and I like Otis, you know. So hopefully somehow they get a storyline to where they get some kind of like shine in a good light and not just be geeks. But yeah, I think Rusev is gonna be a problem, man. Like him versus Sheamus is gonna be a dope match. But then it's like, what's gonna happen after that? It's like, is he gonna go after the Intercontinental title? Or what's gonna be next after that? Who's gonna be his next feud after Sheamus?
I could totally see him getting in the IC title mix for sure. But yeah, I think right now he'll just have one of those physical brawling feuds with Sheamus, you know.
Maybe 3 or 4 matches.
Some bangers, exactly.
After banger, after banger, after banger, after banger.
I'm pretty sure that he's going to put Sheamus over though. I think they want to.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think. I think if they have like 2 out of 3 or 4 matches, you know, Sheamus will get at least one. But for the most part, I think Rusev is walking out, you know, the victor in this feud just to push his momentum. Because a character like Rusev is a total threat to whoever has, to whatever babyface has championship gold. Rusev is that guy to be scared of, like on some Gunther type.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Speaking of which, would I love to see him and Gunther mix it up?
That will be a good ass match.
They're
both like brute.
Yeah, that should be
brute, man.
That would be great. But yeah. In terms of like Tozawa being geeked out, him and Otis, I mean, listen, they messed up when they never had the one-on-one with Otis and Gable. Like when they broke up, they didn't do the proper follow-up, and all of a sudden they just got lost in the sauce.
Yeah, they did.
And they're just chilling in Geekville right now.
Yeah, man, it sucks.
It sucks.
They could do something maybe, but right now it's just kind of like,
Yeah, I don't think there's any room. I think the rehab process is just going to take too long, especially for Tozawa. I mean, Tozawa's just that lovable geek who's going to tap out to the monster. But OT, someone that you would think, amazing strength.
mm-hmm.
He can connect with the crowd, but he's like a sacrificial lamb. That's what it seems like to me.
It does.
But so we'll see. I'm definitely intrigued to see that first Sheamus and Rusev match whenever that happens. In the meantime, just keep doing what you do. I don't think they can mess this up.
No, definitely gonna be on a PLE.
Absolutely. So Jey Uso and Gunther had a segment in the ring. Jey Uso came out, did his thing in the crowd with the kids. I love it. Came to talk his mess, talk his trash. Gunther comes out to say, hey, you've been winning, but you've been escaping by a hair. You've been getting all this help from your friends. And I'm coming to take that title off of you on June 9th. And I liked Jey Uso's energy in this promo saying, listen, I'm tired of y'all doubting me. I'm just tired of this. Like, I'm the real deal, and I'm going to show you. I guess tapping you out just wasn't enough, so I guess I'm going to have to do it. 4 letters, 1 word. And then he just walked out. He just walked out. He's like, listen, bro, I got bigger fish to fry. I got to deal with Cena and Logan Paul. I'll deal with you later. So, not much to it, but I mean, they got to keep Gunther in the back of our minds for when that match happens. And I think we had talked about it. I think that when Jay does defeat Gunther again, I don't know if he's going to tap him out again. I don't think the tap out is happening again. I think it might be, what do you think, Gold?
I think it's gonna be some shenanigans, man.
Shenanigans.
I think it's gonna be shenanigans. I think Seth Rollins is gonna do something because when they had that altercation in the back, him and Seth had a little conversation, whatever. I don't think Seth liked his response. He said, "I'll be waiting." He said, "I want it to happen. I want you to mess with me, whatever." So I think he's gonna ruin his chances, man. And it's gonna be a personal feud probably between him and Seth. It's gonna be like a little segue, a little brief sidetrack, you know what I'm saying, before he's Seth get back to Jay. But I think Seth wants to make sure that he's the one to take that belt off of Jay, not anybody else.
Okay, so you're saying that you think Gunther and Seth are going to have like a little side feud.
Mm-hmm.
So would that imply that Gunther is going to be face or tweener or whatever? Or?
That's gonna turn him a face.
You think that's what's going to turn him a face? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we definitely need we got to start writing this down. Because if that happens, like that'll be pretty dope. I'm thinking that.
I think so, bro. Because you called it. You even said like where was I?
Oh yes. My bad.
They kind of trying to turn face, whatever. But I think that's gonna be the catalyst for him turning face, like him feuding with Seth.
Well, I think that's one way of doing it for sure. But think about it, like Gunther trying to go against Seth. Keep in mind that Gunther was talking about how he does everything for himself, right? He's all about himself. So hold on to that. Hold on to that piece for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Seth got an army behind him. He got Braun. He got Braun and Bronson. Is Gunther trying to go through that by himself? I don't know. But who might take exception to Gunther saying those words about being all about himself. There's someone who has not been on TV for a while, and that would be Ludwig. And Ludwig Kaiser. So who's to say that Gunther, if Gunther doesn't lose clean to Jey Uso, because I was thinking if he lost clean, maybe he'll just shake Jey Uso's hand and then that'll be it. And possibly that might be the pathway to a face turn. Maybe Ludwig interferes and causes Gunther to lose via shenanigans. What do you think about that?
That would be crazy. Good problems to have, like you said, man. Like that could be another way it could go. But I don't know. I just don't see Ludwig turning on Gunther, man. Because Gunther was the one that was kind of like, telling him to be better, telling him that he, you know what I'm saying, giving him, have the confidence to go make challenges, make something happen, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. I would be surprised. I'm not saying that it can't happen. I would be surprised, though. I'd definitely be surprised.
I think either scenario, the one you presented and the one I presented, would be great.
It could go either way.
Yeah. And if they just pull something out of left field and throw a curveball with it, I'll accept that too. But I do think that Jay is definitely getting the W. He's not losing. I don't think he's losing that title. I think the biggest threat to Jay is Seth Rollins.
Exactly. I agree, for sure.
The question is how they do it without.
How and when.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to that match. That'll be in, 2 weeks? Damn, it's June already, my guy. June
I know, man.
Already. I swear we were just talking about Elimination Chamber like last week. I feel like.
Yeah. This goes.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, all right.
I swear, April's like the slingshot, man. After April, it's just like the year just flies, bro.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next match. So we had a triple threat tag match, which I thought the match was entertaining.
It was.
New Day versus the Creeds versus the War Raiders. And, the story of the match were the Creeds and New Day joining forces to take out the War Raiders, which made sense. But the young, naive Creeds, that backfired on them and they
fell for it, man. They bit the bait.
They fell for it. And, Xavier Woods, his real last name is Creed. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was a Creed pinning a Creed. That was the funny part to me.
Crazy.
Granted, he doesn't go by that. He doesn't go by his last name on television. But I thought that was.
He did in TNA though, right?
TNA, he was called Consequences Creed in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And he came up with the Apollo Creed attire.
He came out with the Apollo Creed attire. Yep. So yeah, it was a solid match. But I guess the question is, and you know how I feel about this trash ass tag. You know how I feel about this tag team division. It's pretty trash. So I guess the question is, I mean, they just beat both teams at one time.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to be next for the New Day? What did they do?
I do think I don't know when, but I predicted this a long time ago. I do think the Creeds is gonna get it. I just don't know when. Maybe this year. I just think, I don't know. I mean, right now, like the New Day, they're hot. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is working for them, man. The outfits are fucking fire. They talking trash. They're really embodying that natural heel energy, you know what I'm saying, which is cool. And everybody loves it. I like it. I like it.
Did you see I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were talking about the outfits, the Giant Gonzalez.
Yeah. It was paying homage. Yeah, that was fire.
That was dope.
But I do think sometime soon, like the Creed brothers is gonna get those titles, bro.
I definitely see it in their future. No doubt about it. I see that in their future, but I don't know about this year though. I mean, again, nothing's going on the Raw side of the tag division. I'm drawing a blank on who else the New Day could feud with, at least from a babyface perspective. I can't think of anybody.
Me neither. I'm
Judgment
tired of the
Day.
War Raiders.
Yeah, the War Raiders got to go.
Get your ass out of here, Jack Perry.
They got to find someone else to feud with. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing War Raiders against Bronson and Braun, but I don't think they would be on their radar right now.
That would be fire.
I think that would be like some good mean guy matches right there. But maybe the Creeds will win it. Possibly they'll have a one-on-one, not one-on-one, excuse me, but a match with New Day, just them. Yeah, I don't know. They need to ship somebody from SmackDown from that division over to Raw, spice things up, because I just can't think of anyone else for them to fight.
Yeah, that would be exciting. Yeah, I'm with you. Except for Bronson and Braun. That would be fire.
Either that or they pair two babyface single stars together who don't have anything to do.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, you talked about rehabbing Ortiz and Tozawa.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would. I don't know. That would be exciting.
Nah.
That would be exciting. Maybe Dom and Carlito. And Dom and because we know it's not gonna be Dom and Finn because they don't fucking like each other.
Yeah, it could be Dom.
That eventually is gonna go. Eventually,
it could be Dom and JD.
Dom and JD will be fire.
But against a heel New Day.
You're right. I mean, Dom is gonna turn. If not already turning face already, but that would be something to turn him like complete face, with the tag team championships, him and JD.
We're going to have to revisit this again. We're going to have
Just look, that lets you know how bad it is, though. The tag team division, we got to
we're going to have to really.
We're shooting in the dark.
We're going to have to pull up the entire roster and just analyze this, because I feel like there's just something or someone is missing, and I just don't know what it is. So we got to look at both shows, the tag division, because again on SmackDown it's the same people wrestling each other every week, with the exception of Fraxium being there now, right? So that spiced things up quite a bit. But at some point they're going to go through the other 4 teams that have been fighting each other this entire year, so we'll see. But we definitely need to spot. That's why they need to get rid of one of these sets of titles. Got to go, man. Oh, you know what? Maybe Theory and Waller, but I guess that they're going to start feuding with each other at some point.
That's on the way, man. That shit probably happen next week. It's too. They've been setting it up for a while.
All right. Well, we'll just don't change that dial. We'll just stay on the lookout. All right. So Liv Morgan decided she wanted to pick a bone with Kairi Sane on her way to talk to Pierce about getting in a qualifier for the Money in the Bank. But prior to that, and I didn't see last week's Raw, so I don't know. All I know is I saw Roxanne Perez, my other boo, come to the clubhouse with some chicken nuggets trying to win. And I just thought that was funny as hell. With a tray. Like, this wasn't even a 20-piece. It wasn't a 40-piece. It was like a whole damn Chick-fil-A party tray.
She bought the party platter, yo.
The party platter of nuggets. You know that Dom loves his nuggets and loves his chicken fingers. And then she offered to massage his shoulders. So I was like, what are they doing with this? But I like it. This is interesting. And then Liv pulls up from her hiatus, shooting her movie or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the look on Finn Balor's face the entire time.
It's just hilarious.
The joy, the devious joy in this man's eyes, just sitting on the couch and looking at the confrontation. I thought it was priceless. And now
it was.
And somehow, some way, the Judgment Day has gotten interesting again.
Mm-hmm. Just like that, man.
Just like that. So Not sure where that's going overall, but keep in mind that Dom is the ladies' man.
Dom winning, bro. Dom
Dom,
is winning.
he done had Rhea, he left Rhea for Liv, and now you think he's about to, what's he about to do with Roxanne? What do you think is going to happen there, Gold?
Roxanne,
I want to be your man. And I think, you know what, and
it's bad, bro.
I like the idea of wherever this story, just stretch it out as much as they can. I'm with it. Roxanne is like so dope. And I think her getting the rub from this particular storyline will be good for her development because she kind of just showed up on Raw, right?
Yeah.
She kind of just showed up like, oh, I'm here now. No draft, no, I'm just here. And I think her being a thorn in Liv's side will be entertaining. And that's exactly what happened during the match because Roxanne tried to come and help Liv by interfering, but it backfired and Liv still ended up getting pinned.
Now she's going to have to answer for it.
Well, I don't know because she directed her anger towards Raquel Rodriguez. Right? The fallout was saying, hey, you're a veteran, you should have known better, versus taking her anger towards Roxanne. She put it towards Raquel. So, what are they trying to do there?
Hot thickets, man.
Hey, listen, we always gotta have some type of way for these people to mix it up and feud. So
yeah,
I think that might be the one. So Roxanne is trying to steal Liv's man, or is she? I don't know, but we'll see what party platter she shows up with next week. And if Liv is able to qualify for the Money in the Bank, Roxanne's in that match too. And Roxanne could be the reason that she does or does not
win.
Exactly. And maybe if Raquel's out there for Shenanigans, that can cause more friction. I don't necessarily want to see Raquel and Liv feud. I actually like them as a tag team. But who's to say that they don't lose those championships due to Roxanne Perez Shenanigans or Dom Shenanigans?
Yep. Now you're thinking, I'm thinking. Exactly.
It's like anything that Dom has involvement with seems to be gold. Like everybody just wins. And 6 degrees of separation of Dominic Mysterio. Everything's just interesting in his orbit. So
yeah.
But yeah, that look on Finn's face was just, I mean, he was sitting there just like, yes.
Like he's excited to see what happened next. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't see how I didn't see Raw. I'm sorry. What are you saying?
And Don was like, yeah. He said, isn't it good to have Liv back? He was like, yes, it is good to have her back.
I love it. I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Me too.
All right, so then we had a promo segment. Lyra Valkyria showed up talking a little trash about Becky, and Becky came out and said, hey, I want to face you again at Money in the Bank, and if I lose, I will never challenge you for the IC Championship again. But if I win, you got to show me the respect and raise my hand. A simple stipulation, but still a stipulation nonetheless. And what it said to me is that Becky's walking out of Money in the Bank with that championship. What do you think?
I know. I say 50-50. 50 that Baker's gonna walk out with it, but it could go either way. This one's hard to predict. I think them having that first match, she already got the nod of the salute from an OG. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I think this might be Becky's last run, so she might get it again. So it's hard to call.
Mm-hmm.
It is a tough one to call, man. But if I had to bet, I'm gonna go with a champ. I'm gonna go with the champ, bro.
Going with the champ?
Go with the champ, man.
Well, so there is one factor that we can there's one factor that we can definitely look at. Bailey ain't came back yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's still some unfinished business. Shenanigans. Which is I think I predicted that at Black Backlash and it did not happen. I thought Bailey was going to do some shenanigans to cause Becky to lose, but Becky just lost legit. So
I think I co-signed with you too. Yeah.
Yeah, but if they're going to keep it on Lyra, and Bailey again, she got attacked. That could be a SummerSlam matchup, Bailey and Becky, or this might be a legit 1, 2, 3, or Lyra pins Becky and that's a wrap, and Becky got to go do something else. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to seeing the match though. Those two actually have a good chemistry in the ring. They do.
Good problems.
Good problems. That's what we should name this show, Good Problems. So then we had the main event, the last qualifier of the night for the Money in the Bank. And a lot happened in this match. But overall, the match itself was good. It wasn't as good as the Penta Dragon Lee Gable match.
No, it wasn't.
But the characters in this particular match, we cared about more. Therefore, the story that was told was better. A lot more was at stake because these are like people we can actually see as potential winners of the briefcase, right? So it seemed like Finn had that match won. Actually, no. It looked like Sammy had the match won at some point when he hit that haluva kick. But then Braun pulled him out. And there we go.
It kept changing, man. It kept changing. Every time I thought somebody had a one, it was like something else happens.
Right. And clearly Dominic Mysterio, he has a very bad track record of sliding chairs into the ring. Don't you agree? It never works out.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
If he slides a chair in the ring, guaranteed whoever he was trying to advocate for is losing. So
now, let me ask you this question. I'm going to cut you off. Do you think that shit was intentional?
He slid it he slid it nowhere close to Finn. He slid it in the middle and said, "Fetch." That's what it seemed like.
Exactly. Like, yo, a mile, fuck you, but here's your chance.
See, Dom has this thing where he has because he's still a young kid, so he has this little innocent, I made a mistake type of demeanor.
But did I make a mistake?
Or
Get your ass out of here, Jack Perry.
Right. So the tension between Dom and Finn continues, and I like it. It's been a very long term build. So when do you think these two are going to actually have the one-on-one match? I'm thinking SummerSlam, but it could be sooner. I don't know why, for some reason, I like to say everything's going to happen at one of the big 4 pay-per-views, but it's a 2-night SummerSlam, right? So
I think, but I think it is a SummerSlam type match. You don't want to have 2 members of the same faction go against each other like on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like this got to be something that's got to be seen on a PLE. You know what I'm saying? In my personal opinion, you want to save like the main dish for like later. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to just pass it out like fast food.
Right.
I think that shit is gonna when it does happen, because it's going to happen. We've been saying this for a minute. It's going to happen. PLE Dom versus Finn. And I love the buildup. I love it because they keep slighting each other, like trying to be slick with it. But the other one is peeping, like, oh, I see what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's going back and forth.
I look at it like this shit goes so far back, like last year when Liv first got introduced into the mix. I thought that was the doing of Finn. I thought Finn had set that up. When Rhea was still in the Judgment Day, I thought remember when Finn had slid that key card, that hotel key card?
Yep.
There was never any explanation about that, right?
And they might bring that back up too.
They just might. So yeah, Braun and Bronson came down for Shenanigans. Seth did that beautiful curb stomp to Finn on the chair. Got got the pin. He's going to Money in the Bank. And then he ordered Braun and Bronson to continue to beat up Sami Zayn. And Jey Uso, because Jey Uso came out for the save as well. So I assume a Jey Uso, Sami Zayn versus Braun and Bronson match is on the horizon at some point. And they could save that for Saturday night's main event or something. Who knows? Or they can do it on TV. I don't know. I assume that Braun and Bronson, they're going to destroy somebody in the next week or so.
Somebody's going to get it.
Somebody's going to get speared and someone's going to get tsunami'd at the same damn time. Or, and I can't wait. So then CM Punk's music hits, who Paul Heyman had said that he wasn't there that night. You know, I think like 7 out of 10 times when they say insert X wrestler's name is not here tonight,
they're going to be there.
Yeah, that motherfucker's going to be there, you know, so... So yeah, CM Punk's music hit, the old trick in the book, hey, go cut him off at the ramp. And then here comes CM Punk out the crowd. Pops up behind, hits him with that sneak GTS, and then bounces over the guardrail into the crowd. So CM Punk continues to be a foil to Seth Rollins. This feud must continue. And I don't know when it's ever going to end. And right now, it hasn't grown stale to me whatsoever. Are you still, are you over it yet? Or you still want to see, you still think there's a lot more to come? What do you think?
A lot more to come.
Yeah.
A lot more to come. They have to have.
They've had a cage
death match or something, man. Like it's just got to be something like a crazy match for them to end the feud, man. Which I ain't complaining at all. I love it. I love it, man.
They spread it out pretty well, you know.
They do.
They had the singles match, and then they had the cage match, and then they had the WrestleMania triple threat. So I mean, tag match. So there's still room now, especially now that we got 2 more brutes in the crew. CM Punk's going to have to go through them. And like, hey, listen, let's not forget. The Tribal Chief's gonna come back at some point, right? Yeah, exactly.
I'm still waiting on that too, man. Also, I'm waiting on to see is CM gonna grab gold soon?
See, that's the weird part. And all credit to CM Punk to be this damn over and this damn interesting, and not had his title shot yet, or any level of title shot.
He don't need it, but it's like it would still be nice to see.
Of course, and it's going to happen at some point. Matter of fact, here's a crazy prediction. And just in case I do what we talked about earlier, where I disconnect from the internet wrestling community after Survivor Series leading up to WrestleMania, my bold prediction would be that CM Punk is going to win the title at next year's WrestleMania. What do you think about that?
That would be fire. But the World Championship or the Undisputed Championship? That's the question.
I don't know. I don't think it. I don't.
Man,
I don't know.
It's tough.
I don't know because I swear I think whatever championship means the most depends on who has it. Because the day that Roman Reigns decides that he wants to get the World Heavyweight Championship, that becomes the A belt.
I think Roman is going to go for the World Championship. It makes the most sense. I just think the Undisputed title just looks so good around Cody waist. I think it fits him. It's just
yeah, I agree.
It just fits, bro.
Yeah, it does. And I don't know if I don't know if and when Cody's going to get it back. I mean, I assume he'll get it back at some point. He'll be a 2-time undisputed champion. The question is he going to take it off of Cena?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's gonna be like the final salute to say, hey, here you go. I'm passing the torch.
Yeah,
that's gonna be seen as passing the torch to Cody when he beats him and gets it back. Probably like right at the end of Cena's tour. Right at the end.
Right at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had no idea who Cena's going to defend it against at SummerSlam at all. If he has it still then, if he still has it then, but I'm assuming that he will.
Me too.
That's what I'm assuming.
Me too.
So Seth is actually in the Money in the Bank now. So what do you think the chances are of him actually getting the briefcase?
He'll probably get it, bro. He'll probably get it.
I mean,
he might get it, not unless Roman stops it.
There's 2 more slots left though. Who's in it so far? We got Penta, Seth, Solo Sikoa,
mm-hmm.
and LA Knight, I believe.
Yeah, I think LA Knight won. Yeah.
Let's double check.
It's like 2 slots. You said 2 slots left?
There's 2 slots left.
So yeah, let's see who that is. You think Roman to be one of them? I think that'd be fire if he was.
So I was just verifying. Yeah, LA Knight, Penta, Solo. Solo's not going to get it. So Seth. Mm-mm. I mean, if LA Knight had it, that would be entertaining. That's your boy. What if LA Knight had it and he just walked around threatening everybody with that briefcase every week? That would be pretty dope. What do you think about that?
That would be cool. I wouldn't be mad at it. I just don't see LA winning, man. I don't see him grabbing that briefcase.
Damn shame, man. It's just the title picture is too stacked. I like that. It hasn't been that way since the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
It really has not. I'm trying to think. Like during the Cena era, it wasn't stacked like this. During the first Roman Reigns era, it wasn't stacked like this. Mm-hmm. During the Tribal Chief era, I mean, Brock and Bobby Lashley? And not really, not like this. Not where like everybody could potentially.
Yeah.
I can see everybody like potentially being the top guy. LA Knight, that definitely be an upward struggle, but yeah, 2 more slots. I don't see Roman Reigns, he's not a ladder match type of guy.
No. He's not. But it'll be unpredictable.
And I think that's what we need more of in wrestling is unpredictability. And that would definitely be something that I didn't expect and something that I would appreciate if they did it. But I don't think it's him. But I don't know who else. I don't know who else is going to go for it. We need 1 more person on SmackDown and 1 more person on Raw. It could be CM Punk. It could be CM Punk. Why not?
Yeah, you're right.
Matter of fact, CM Punk was.
How about CM? Well, damn, CM and Roman is on both on Raw.
It could be. It could totally be CM Punk, and CM Punk is actually the first ever Money in the Bank winner.
If they actually want to f people head up, Uncle Howdy. If they really want to f people head up, why not?
Hell no, motherfucker. Get your ass out of here, Jack Perry.
They got to do something with them, man. They got to do something with them, bro. They got to do something with them.
How about they? Damn it, they're SmackDown though, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say that maybe they come and feud with the New Day.
That would be fire. I mean, but it was on Raw before.
I think they can just go. I think their gimmick, their character, they can go wherever the hell they want to go.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. They should be able to.
Or somebody from Raw has to leave. And I'm not Raw. Excuse me. Someone from SmackDown got to leave if the White Six are going to be in the tag mix. Now, Uncle Howdy and Money in the Bank in the ladder match. Now that I've said this, now that you've said this out loud and I've had a chance to think about it, that actually would be kind of dope. Just for the spookiness of it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's totally not going to win.
No, he wouldn't. But just him being in it kind of like, you know, raised the antenna like, oh, Uncle Howdy could win. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it'll bring like a new, like, it'll bring a different energy to it.
I won't disagree with that. We got to look at the roster. I assume they're going to announce Friday's qualifier match by tomorrow or Thursday. So, because I'm trying to think who else on. Oh, Carmelo.
Oh, I forgot about Carmelo. Good. Yeah, you're right.
Carmelo. We got to get him in that match. Even if he doesn't win, he needs to be in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carmelo.
I could see him winning too.
Man, him.
I could see him winning.
Walking around with that briefcase and the Miz by his side. Yeah. Now that sounds
arrogant prick.
Uh-huh.
People talking trash, bro, like, you know, between segments. Like, I could see that.
That works.
I like Carmelo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Carmelo. He's really dope. I could definitely see that. I can't on Raw. Punk would make sense if he wants to. I mean, oh well. Let me see if he wants to. Whatever Triple H decides. What we got? 1 more week? 3 more episodes of television?
Yeah, a week from Saturday, man. Money in the Bank.
So, I guess we'll see. But yeah, that was Monday Night Raw.
Right now, you're checking out VSOP.
Hip hop and wrestling.